Hello, this is Sonja from My Happy Space. Welcome back at my channel. Today I'm going to continue with Junk Journal July and I'm doing prompt number 16 and 17, which is one-sided and go to palette. So for the one-sided, I decided to do it on this side of that page I've created in my setup video. And I've decided I'm going to use some tags from Daphne Diary. Now, this is the only Daphne Diary I owe, and my mother-in-law brought it for me as a present from England. She didn't even know I like it or that I heard of it. So I was so happy when she brought it, and these beautiful tags which you can obviously use for presents. But I've decided I'm going to use it because some of these colors work perfectly with that page I did on the left hand side. So I've just decided a few that goes with the palette, some purples and pinks and greens. So I'm just going to cut that out. And my idea was to put it at the edge of the page to almost to say that it is a one-sided page. The page is just done on the one side. Now, I obviously interpreted it very literally, so I'm curious to see how other people will do it and how they will get what they will get out of it. So here is the ones I've chosen. I've got that beautiful plums and figs. And this one I'm actually going to change. I didn't really like how that looks. I didn't like the quote on it. It just didn't stood out for me. Now I'm just looking for a background. So I'm just going through the magazine and see if I can find any pattern papers or backgrounds. I was considering that because I think that would have also worked beautifully. But then I just went on a little bit, and then I saw this beautiful background with some red bricks, and I thought that is actually perfect because it's, I don't know, I just had the idea of this red bricks or pink bricks on the one side and then the tags hanging out from the other side. So I'm just measuring it and I'm just cutting it. Luckily there was this nice straight line, so I could actually just easily cut it to do that. And then I decided I'm going to actually keep that torn edges after I've torn up it out from the magazine. I just like it because that is now real organic tears, because it was just while I was taking it out of the magazine. So I wanted to cover that image on the back also. So I mean, the page is, although it's one-sided, it covers almost 3/4 of the page. I was thinking actually a little bit to have it a little bit more to the right-hand side, but as I said, that this is just all fun. This is how I interpret this prompt. So I'm just going through the tags again to see if I can find any other one. And I've decided I'm going to go for that red flower because I like the fact that there was a bit of green in, because it went with the other side, the left hand side page, which say that create is green. So now I'm just gluing on this pattern paper, and then I wanted to back the tags because they're obviously very flimsy. So I'm just using some cardstock. This is my butterfly free printable, which I gave with the prompts, the mirrored prompts. So if you haven't picked that up, go and if you haven't done that prompt yet, go to that video, which I will also link down here below, and then you can pick up that free printable of the butterfly. So as you see, I'm using some double-sided tape because I just wanted to do it on the one hand, and it's going to hang over to the other side, not too much. The reason why I chose this bag is because this bag is smaller than the rest of my pages. So when these tags hang over, it won't be too much hanging over to the side of my book, because I wanted it to poke out, but not too much. So now at the end, you will just see this rope that is, or string, purple string, which I'm going to attach to it. So it's a nice, interesting texture effect on the one side of my book. Is all these purple ropes hanging out. It's almost like tags, which I've put on the one side, which I actually want to do a little bit more in this book, create a little bit more interest on the one side. So this is how it looks. So I'm quite happy how that look. And now I'm just going to take the back of some of the tags, which I've cut out, because I love the light blue, and I'm just going to put on there one-sided at the bottom. And then I've got this perfect washi tape with the right colors, and it's got these strawberries on. At the end, this washi tape, you can't really see it because it looks so much in the pattern paper. But yeah, maybe I should have used a purple washi tape, but it is full of fun. Now I'm just looking for a place to do my next prompt, which is go to palette. And I wanted to do some stamping, so I thought I'll do the last page, but I'm going to change that later. Now I'm just getting all my paints and things out and my products for my go-to palette. So I've got my Distress Oxide inks out, and I've got Speckled Egg, Peacock Feathers, and I think it's Flamingo. And then I've got my water soluble. This is Rosa. And the blue one, I'm going to use Sky Blue. And for my gelatos, the pink one, I'm using watermelon, which is one of my favorite colors. And then the blue one is snow cone. Don't know what that has to do with blue, but that is the names being given to the gelatos. Yeah, this is just Faber-Castell gelatos. So this is my color palette. And for my watercoloring, I can't remember the names of them. They are just pink and blue. Yeah, it's just the most vibrant pink and blue I could find. So I wanted to use washi also, but decided against it because there was no space for it. So I decided rather to stamp it on watercoloring paper just to give a nice effect. I'm just using my Stays On ink because it's a permanent ink, and that will obviously help when I put water on it. So I'm just using this very cute water, or not water brush, this paint brush, which a dear friend sent to me, and it's so cute. My first impression wasn't very good, and I realized I have to press a little bit hard. My ink might be getting a bit dry. I've had that for quite a long time, this Stays On ink, but I just wiggled the stamp a little bit and I got a much better impression. So I'm just going to do a whole page full of that because I want two for each product, because obviously I want to use the pink and the blue. So I've decided actually to go for the speckled egg instead of the peacock feathers. And actually that worked perfectly because it blended it itself very nicely with all the other blues. You will find that the blues and the pinks are very similar at the end. Yeah, I started with the handle of the brush, but then I rather wanted to do the brittle bit of the brush. Obviously, because that is where a paint originally would be on if you paint something. So first of all, I'm getting with the Distress Oxide inks, and now I'm going to go with the pink. As I said, I think that's Kitsch Flamingo. And these two pinks and blues are definitely my go-to palette. For those who knows me, this is my palette. Although the green, my beautiful nature green, which I've been using in this junk journal, is been really growing on me also. So now I'm going in with the gelatos, which was also quite nice and vibrant. I like the shimmer of gelato sometimes, although as I said previously, gelatos is not one of my favorite things to do. So I've just cut it out, but at the back I've written down what it was because I knew I'm not going to go to remember that. So now I'm going to continue. I'm going to go with the water soluble crayons. That was probably my least favorite. It was very dull. It wasn't very vibrant. So yeah, but that's fine. It's interesting to see the difference, and the watercoloring was definitely my favorite. It was so nice and vibrant. This is, as I said, my Minio watercoloring set. It is a fairly reasonable quality watercoloring. It's probably not the best you can find, but it's definitely also not the worst. So I think it's a good set, a medium set. So I'm just spreading it all over my page. I was considering maybe give it a background, but then I thought maybe it will take away from the swatches, because obviously the attention needs to be on the swatches, because as I said, this is my go-to palette. So I've written there at the top, left-hand side, watercolor, because that's where I'm going to put the watercolor. On the top right-hand side, it's going to be the Distress Oxides, and at the bottom left, water solubles, and at the bottom right is the gelato. So now I'm going in with these cute little arrows, which I'm just pointing to which one it is. I'd love to have a stamp like that. That would be very nice to have a cute little stamp with an arrow like that. But in the meantime, it's probably no effort to make it yourself. So I'm just using again the back of the tags, and I've decided to go for pink. I don't actually know why. I don't think it turned out actually so well. I should have gone for black really. But yeah, this is how it looks. So I hope you enjoyed these two entries. This is less simple. It was not so mixed media, but I enjoyed doing it. And thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, God willing, I'll speak to you on Tuesday. In the meantime, I leave you with some close-up photos, and I'm looking forward to see what everybody else is doing. Lots of love. Bye-bye.